my name is Krishna. So today we'll be going towards the DOM Clobbering. So before starting the topic, I would like to know किसी को DOM पता है क्या है? Does anybody know what DOM is? Huh? Please elaborate. Yeah. Documents. Okay. So कितने लोग यहाँ पे वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स है और कितने लोग यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स है? स्टूडेंट्स, प्रोफेशनल्स. ओके, सो मुझे ज़्यादा एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा. सो या बिफोर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द agenda, so there is a short introduction about me. So I am nothing more than a CH. I wrote a book. Yeah. Audible? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I am a published author. I started an organization, one for VAPT, one for cybercrime, and right now I am working as a cyber forensic analyst with the income tax department and local police. So that's a short introduction about me. So what is DOM? So before knowing what DOM clobbering is, we have to understand what DOM and XSS is. So you have said that DOM is a structure of HTML. What is XSS? Anybody? Cross-site scripting. Can anybody tell me what is XSS? Yeah, correct. So when we talk about DOM, so DOM is just a structure of HTML. So when we manipulate a certain element, we want to manipulate certain thing in web page, we do it through DOM. DOM is a structure of HTML and it is accessed and manipulated by a programming language known as JavaScript. So everybody knows that front end work with three languages: CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. We don't have to do much thing with CSS today, but yeah, HTML and JavaScript. So this is how does it sound? Last. Hold it. Yeah, hold it. Nope, it's not. Okay. So you can see a window. This is a document, and we all know that HTML consists of one head, one body. So I want to access the title. So in DOM, what happens is I will go through document, then HTML, then head, and then title. This is basic thing of DOM. And now what XSS is. So when we talk about XSS, it is mostly related to JavaScript only. We create a script, we inject it into input the field of any website like comment, search bar, and we can get something sensitive data, or it is vulnerable or not. So there are three things in XSS: reflected, store, and DOM. We're working with DOM based XSS today. We'll use DOM clobbering to enable XSS in a website. So does anybody know what reflected and stored XSS is? Yeah? Yeah. How many of you know what reflected and stored XSS is? Okay. So short introduction on reflected and stored XSS. In reflected XSS, what we do is we take a script, we attach it with URL and send it to our target. So in order to get the browser access of the target. But in stored XSS, we inject the script as it is to the website. So it will fetch in the web server. and anybody who visits the server, the script will be executed. Yeah, and DOM, I will show you DOM best exercise further. Now, on to the main topic. So, DOM clobbering. Does assumption मारो कुछ पता होगा DOM clobbering के बारे में, तो मुझे आइडिया आएगा कि किसको कितना पता है, इन्होंने कितना आगे जाना है मुझे. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So DOM clobbering is nothing more than a malicious code which overrides the existing property of the DOM. Means we use variables, objects in any code of HTML. So we assign certain properties through JavaScript. Like this button will be blue, this button will be red. Yeah. But when we do DOM clobbering, we JavaScript variables and elements in DOM have a conflict in between them. Like default variable, anything which have been assigned something value in it, but some website use third-party libraries, and even in that they have the same name variable in that. So DOM clobbering, is a thing that makes conflict, and hacker use it as their beneficial point to exploit a website. And yeah, that is closely related to only 3 languages: CSS, HTML, and JavaScript only. Yeah, so everybody knows that every HTML code has IDs, yeah, classes, uniquely verification. So what we do is we take that ID, we manipulate it through JavaScript, through console. Everybody knows web developer tools, right? Inspect, yeah. So we will access console and we will do that. So yeah, can everybody see this thing? Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go to the page right now. Any celebrity you want to say? Okay, we'll get to robot. We'll take JK. Okay. So this is a web page. Taking some time to load out. Yeah. So it has a heading, a big heading. So now we will inspect it and see what's it. Then we can see that there is this ID mentioned here. So now what we do is take this ID, go to console. Through console we access the JavaScript of the web page. Now what we'll do is document.get element by ID. We specify the ID which we have targeted. Now we can get that this is the thing which has been associated with the ID. Now I want to get the text JK Rowling dot I in that text. So yeah, can you see that? JK Rowling. Now the thing we'll give it some name. I will give it Modi. Yeah. So yeah, this is the basic thing how we do DOM manipulation in any website. So this was the introduction. That can everybody see this? I don't have magnifier. Actually, I have shared this in this. Yeah. Because you cannot focus everywhere. Okay. So this is a thing, DOM. This is just short introduction of what DOM is. And before moving to the markups, I would like to show this research paper. Sohail Kodia had written this research paper, and in this research paper they have tested over 5k websites, and they have only found 44 website vulnerable to DOM. This is the very vulnerability which was existing a decade ago, because there was no AI at that time. So we have seen what DOM is. Now we will move on to what DOM clobbering. How do we do that? I can do this. So yeah, the code is visible. So this is the So this is a basic page of through HTML. This is the main JS, and this is a third-party library. So you can see that in main JS, we have assigned the value a window.default avatar. Okay, and afterwards we have assigned the exact value to default avatar, which is this. But sometimes we use third-party libraries, and in that they assign some other value to the same variable. Now what it does is it overwrites. Can you see it? They have assigned the value to default avatar here, a different thing. Yeah, it has overwritten the existing property of the code. So coming back to the research paper, so in research paper it has shown that DOM clobbering is a vulnerability which can be found even today, but isn't a severe vulnerability. In this research paper they have used a tool known as the thing. So that they have done some analysis, but basically I don't think so that DOM clobbering is such a vulnerability that can cause a lot of damage in this era. Just a research thing. Now I will show you some payloads we can use for DOM clobbering. So clobbering ID. So I have used clobbering target as ID, and clobbering value I will use mal.js. So you can get the payloads which has written in HTML. Can everybody see it? Yeah. So this is the website you can access, and you can create your own DOM payload. And in this website you can also find markup lists. So when I see, this is the markup, and I want to test on my website. So there is a thing that every vulnerability does not work with every browser. Sometime it may work with Firefox, sometime it may not, sometime it may work with Chrome and other browsers, but sometime it may not. So you can see the markup here. They have used the ID markup here to execute the DOM clobbering vulnerability. You can get hundreds of markup here, and you can do your own research to this. I will show you this tool which has done data collection, vulnerability analysis, and vulnerability verification for DOM. So you can go through this page and know what DOM is and DOM clobbering is. So any questions you want to ask, like what DOM is? Has everybody understood what DOM clobbering is? Like we overwrite the existing properties, right? So any questions regarding DOM clobbering? Yeah, I will going to the impacts there. But has everybody understood what DOM clobbering is? Yeah. So we will moving for the impact. So impact on web security. There are a lot of impact done by DOM clobbering, but mainly we will focusing on three: phishing attack, data leakage, and third one is XSS. So yeah, phishing attack. How can we do phishing attack? Anybody hacker here? Run their minds and कैसे कर सकते हैं DOM clobbering से phishing attack? A phishing page, yeah. Redact कैसे कर सकते हैं?
So that object model page, right? So we have the access on that document object model, right? The source of that
Yeah.
web page. So we can just add our, say the code of our website, the malicious website. We can just bring that in the page.
Okay. And what were you saying? Yeah. So when we talk about APIs, when we overshadow the API. Yeah. I will talk about this. We have used this property and given the source evil.com. Yeah. Yeah, we can use that for phishing attack. We can attach our malicious link in the code so that everybody doesn't know what is back at the button. Okay, so he will click on the button and eventually we can redirect the user to our malicious page. Yeah, that was the phishing attack. Data leakage. How can data leakage be done? Yep. Ideas. How can data be leaked through DOM clobbering?
Since you like essentially have access to the DOM, you can also access the cookies and maybe the session variables.
Yeah.
Even the local storage. If there are any, there are no protections into the cookies and all, then you can access the cookies with the session values.
Yeah, we can do that surely. So yeah, we can get sensitive data of the website, of the owner of that website through DOM clobbering, and at last we have XSS. So everybody knows that we inject script in input field of the website. So for that I have shared practical here. There is a lab on Portswinger which is enabling XSS through DOM clobbering. I have solved this lab. So eventually it has used this thing. I will zoom in. Where can I paste it? Yeah. So yeah. Is this visible? No, it is not. Sorry. Actually, I will insert something. Huh? Any commission? Oh damn! I just want to see the script. Yeah. Can you see the script? Yeah. This has been injected into the input field of that blogging website. So ID, actually this is HTML script. Sorry, it is written through HTML language, and you can see that default avatar has been assigned a value, name is equal to avatar. Okay, and we test the XSS through alerting something in the website. So I have used this thing to make an alert in the website. So this was the code which was used to enable the accesses, this upper thing. Okay. Now, when we talk about real world examples, why has it been changing? Yeah, there are some real world examples. Back in 2011, Facebook bug. So in that bug, the append child function was overwritten by some JavaScript. So that made a huge bug. And then we have Gmail vulnerability in 2013. Then we had 2018 vulnerability in WordPress. So actually, the thing here to highlight is that in vulnerability WordPress, we had a vulnerability which exploited the social warfare plugin of the WordPress and allowed attackers to override the global variable. So assume that what if we can override the global variable of the web page code? It's fascinating. Yeah. Then we had GitHub security issue which manipulated DOM in such a way that they could inject fake data into the website. And then we have Twitter bug recently in 2020. Script could override the query selector and query selector all. So these things have been happening in DOM Clobbering. Yeah, the thing tool. The thing tool has been made to assess the DOM Clobbering vulnerability. So Soil Codiar is used for 5,000 website and this many websites and 18.3 million scripts and 24 billion lines of codes, and they tested every attribute, every variable, everything, and the result was that they found 9,467 clobberable data, but from those only 44 websites were patched and confirmed. So you say that DOM clobbering can be found in websites, but isn't that severe to be mitigated? And this tool is open source. You can see the web. What it does, it accesses the web pages. It goes through vulnerability analysis, does the verification, and shows can DOM clobbering happen in that website. And yeah, we should mitigate every vulnerability, I said. And we have some mitigation techniques here I've written. CSP, DOM object freezing, regular security audit, secure coding practices. So yeah, CSP. How many of you know CSP? Yeah.
In security policy, it usually blocks scripts and malicious scripts.
Yeah.
And other payloads, like if you're doing SSL SQL, we'll try to block the payload when it's not executed.
Okay.
Even though your payload will reside in the website, it will not be executed. It will be injected. Your site will still be vulnerable to XSS, but it will not execute any payload because the header is remove the header.
Yeah. So that's the CSP content security policy, where we block some scripts that can be not executed on the website. Don't put it in the code. Then we have DOM object freezing. We totally freeze DOM. And it's a very risky practice, but coders use it when they have they don't want anything to go wrong. So they actually freeze the DOM, and whenever they want to change some elements, do some property changes, they take that out and do DOM freezing again. I don't know why coders don't use this nowadays. And regular security audits are musts, because security audits you can find a lot of things through security audits. And secure coding, Ashish will be telling you about security coding a lot. Before moving to the next presentation, does somebody have any doubt or something, like want to share something on DOM